Davrin beat Nev by one more vote. So you know what that means? Well, to be fair, you already figured that out with the thumbnail and the title, so no element of surprise here. But yes, Davrin is the next companion on my 7-part series where I talk about each of the Dragon Age the Veilguard companions, analyzing their characterizations and how to know if you or your rook are a good fit. So you can know whether or not they are the right romance pick for you come October 31st, which, date check, we are now 16 days away from release day. Oh my god. Also, don't worry, there are absolutely no spoilers in this video. Now, before I get into Davrin, hello, I'm Noria, and I like to talk about characters, themes, and stories across various mediums: movies, TV shows, books, anime, and video games. If that sounds like your jam, do check out some of my other videos. And if you like what you see, consider hitting subscribe. If you would like to watch my Dragon Age the Veilguard playthrough, where I intend to share my unfiltered thoughts as I dive into the game, then consider subscribing to my second channel. P.S. It's Noria, where I'll be dropping all my gameplay videos. The link to it is in the description box. Also, I don't think I can in good conscience talk about Davrin without addressing the elephant in the room, i.e., the voiceover actor for the character Iki Amadi, who voiced one of my favorite companions from Mass Effect, Javik, but who was also discovered as following libs of TikTok, Andrew Tate, and Mark Kern, also known as Grumsy the Scum. Now, I know that there are some people who would not feel comfortable romancing a character who is voiced by someone who thinks any of those people have anything worthwhile to say. And I think that is perfectly valid. It's your game, it's your money, it's your rules, it's your choice. If he isn't someone you're comfortable romancing in-game, that is fine. If, however, you can separate his voiceover actor from his character, because, to be fair, Ike Amadi had exactly zero input in the characterization of Davrin, except to bring him to life, then yes, you might enjoy this video a bit. With that out of the way, let's dive straight into how to tell if Davrin is the right pick for you. Starting with the very first point. If you like characters that have honor, duty, and sacrifice as their watchword, who are defined by those three words, who really understand what they mean, and are willing to live and die by them, then Davrin is the romance pick for you. If you like people to whom those words are not just empty ones, but who live by that code, then yes, he is a very good pick. And I know there are some people who consider those who live so strictly by those values boring. And that is okay. That is them. You, on the other hand, you appreciate that, don't you? You like the dependability of knowing that there exists a character like Davrin that you can count on, that you can depend on. Someone who is willing to stick by hard decisions and choices, even if they are unpopular ones. And they are willing to see it through to the end. It is a character quality that doesn't get as much love, but that I find incredibly powerful. And if that is something that you appreciate in a love interest, whether in real life or in a video game, then Davrin is certainly the one for you. Because it's easy to claim those words, to say that you live by honor, duty, and sacrifice. But getting to put that into practice, to live by them, not so easy, except if you're Davrin. In addition to that, if you're drawn to characters who are protective, the ones you know will stand between you and the end of the world, who will be willing to go to battle for you just so they can see you safe and protected, then Davrin is such a great choice for you. Because in addition to his vocation of being a Grey Warden, and him being in alignment to what that means and what it demands of him and the toll it places on him, we also see Davrin with a baby griffin that is adopted. And I don't know about you, but seeing Davrin's interactions with Asan, where he worries and insists on him staying safe and behaving himself and not running into trouble, all belies his worry. He is protective. He doesn't want this griffin hurt. And sure, Asan might squawk that he's got things handled, but I think it's cute. And if you're the type of person who finds yourself smiling when a partner worries about you, when they show that they care and that they are thinking about your protection and safety even when you've got things handled, then consider romancing Davrin. He can't help it. He is a Grey Warden. Of course he worries. Now, we haven't gotten much about Davrin. We don't know a lot of his history. He's not shown up in Tevinter Nights, and although he does have a cameo in one of the episodes of Vows and Vengeance, which, for those who do not know, is the Dragon Age podcast that's part of the extra media that we get to enjoy before Dragon Age the Veilguard drops in 2 weeks and 3 days, which I enjoy, by the way. However, I am aware that the podcast is not really canon since it's not actually written by the actual Dragon Age writers. So everything we get on there about the companions should be taken with extra grains of salt. However, we did get a bit of information on Davrin from the Dragon Age website, and which is why I can state that if you like characters who like charting their own course, who prefer to go their own way and choose their own fate, then Davrin is the one for you. If you have an independent streak, if you're the kid that was always accused of not staying home, of having the itch and desire to see the larger world, then definitely consider Davrin. Because he is one of 2 characters who decided to leave their home and everything they knew. Shout out to Liz Harden. We'll talk about you soon, baby girl. But yes, as I was saying, he's one of 2 characters who decided to leave their home to go see their world. Davrin, however, left to become a Grey Warden, a vocation and calling not many Dalish elves choose. However, he is a character who would like to make history rather than just live in it. And I think that's really cool. Imagine living everyone you know to join an order as secretive as the Grey Wardens, with the most thankless job in all of Thedas, to hunt monsters and protect the realm. That is pretty badass. And if you agree with me, then maybe consider romancing Davrin in Dragon Age the Veilguard. Now, this also means that I have to say it. If you like characters with more courage than sense by virtue of the path they've taken, then consider Davrin. What do I mean by that? Well, based off of what we know of his characterization, he is someone who left the safety of home and everything he knows to dive straight into the unknown, so he can hunt monsters and protect the world whilst making history and seeing what the world has to offer. That does not a very sensible person make. And no, I am not saying this as a negative. I think sometimes we want those kind of romances. The only reason why I bring it up is because I know a lot of us would see Davrin as being the steady, boring, responsible one by virtue of how he has been portrayed and the role he plays. But get this, he chose to be a Grey Warden. He wasn't forced into it, he wasn't conscripted, he wasn't someone caught in the middle of political drama who needed to cling to the Grey Wardens, like the hero of Ferelden, for example. Nope. Davrin, the love of my life, that beautiful, beautiful man with his fantastically wide chests, decided that, you know what? I want that danger. I want that life. I want to be right in the middle of the storm. And then he left. And if you just thought to yourself that, wait a minute, is Noria using similar words to describe Davrin as she would Belara? Is this a coincidence? No, it isn't. I think Davrin, like Belara, is drawn to jumping into danger. It's just that Belara jumps into it to find history, and Davrin jumps for a chance to make history. They are two sides of the same coin, and I personally don't think it's a coincidence that of the companions, they are both Dalish elves, who ideally would seem like they are miles apart as far as temperaments are concerned. But they are definitely more similar than you would have initially thought. Think about it. Also, if you like characters that live a lonely existence, the ones that are doomed to live as monster hunters, where they exist on the fringes of society, always fighting, always killing, always with the threat of dying somewhere far away from home, as they keep the rest of their world safe from the horrors of the night and things that go bump in places most of the world would never consider exploring. People who do all of this and rarely get the thanks of a job well done, a la the witches, then consider romancing Davrin. Because there is something about choosing willingly, consciously, to bring happiness to someone who's always expected to eventually be alone. It is satisfying for you to be the character they know will be there, no matter what the auras bring, to know that you will always be the home they get to come back to, no matter what might chase them to your door. If you enjoy the twinge of sadness, then consider romancing Davrin. If you, however, want even more pain, if you live for the threat, and yes, I said threat, if you live for the threat of a romance that is capable of breaking your heart, one with no certainty of a happy ending, then please consider romancing Davrin. It would be delicious. I know you're probably wondering, Noria, what the fuck? How is this funny? Why are you laughing? Well, I am someone who enjoyed romancing Thane, and I almost always romance Solus, unless I consciously choose to not play as a female Lavellan. There is a beauty, I think, to willingly choosing to wreck yourself. Because even as we swoon over his soulful, soulful eyes and his heart of gold and protective streak that has him always choosing to do the right thing, there is still no cure for the calling. And Davrin is a Grey Warden, which means, like other Grey Wardens, his death is coming soon. It doesn't look like a spring chicken anymore, so yes, it is coming soon. You will have the thought, the weight of his mortality, his impending death, hanging over you the entirety of your romance with him. And I know it might not be everyone's cup of tea, but this girl, this one right here, talking to you right now, I live for the tragic romance. Give me the pain, give me the anguish, give me the absolute wreckage of my heart. Reach into my chest and crush it, then force it right down my gullet. That is the shit I live for. Hell, I even have a video where I talk about BioWare's love for the doomed romance and why I simply gobble it up. Because sure, the relationships might be brief, but for that short moment, when you have that love, when you feel on top of the world, and here is a character that holds your rook's heart, you will be unstoppable. Who wouldn't want something like that, even if it is only for a time? But then, maybe you're like, no, Ria, that is not a plus. What are you doing? To which I say, I'm sorry. Come yell at me in the comments. I would love that. You can also drop your vote for which companion you want me to tackle next as well in the comments. Like I said at the start of the video, Davrin just managed to edge out Nev by a vote. And Hardin came in third place, so it was pretty tight. Or if you're okay with whoever comes next and simply enjoy the video, hit the like button. If you didn't enjoy this video at all, hit the dislike button. Either one is fine by me, really. And you are allowed, just like I have, to express your interests and preferences. But if you think others should check out what I have to say, maybe I've covered one of their favorite companions or I'm about to, then please consider sharing this video. It does help my channel reach a larger audience, which helps it to grow and is incredibly supportive of my content. Speaking of support, a huge thank you to my patrons who literally help me keep the lights on. Thank you. If you would like to support me on Patreon and can afford it, the link to do so is in the description box. I make new videos 3 times a week, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Whilst you wait for new content from me, do check out my Veilguard Romances playlist, where so far I have covered Emmerich Volkarin, Bellara Luther, and Lucanus de la Morte. Until next time, do remember, obsessing over the things you love, perfectly valid coping mechanism.